Hello there, Nathan. So first of all, what details can you tell us about the attack and also about Washington's reaction?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the information that we've got from the US side. And remember, take every bit of information that we get at the moment from Iran, from the US with a pinch of salt, because this is the sort of fog of war, if you like. But essentially, the US Defense Department, the Pentagon, said less than 4 hours ago they started getting incoming missile attacks, not rockets, missiles, over a dozen, at least a dozen, launched from Iranian soil. And I'm just reading the statement here. They say that 2 or more bases were attacked that house US troops in Erbil, the Kurdish area of northern Iraq, and the Al-Assad base, which is in sort of western Iraq, which houses not just US troops but Iraqi troops as well. Now, we do not have any reports of US casualties at the moment. There are reports coming out of Iraq that there have been Iraqi casualties, but as yet we do not know. Now, what I can tell you is that the US president had been beginning to prepare to address the nation from the Oval Office here just behind me, and of course the world as well. That plan has now been scrapped, at least for tonight. It's around 9 o'clock p.m. as I speak to you here, local time in Washington. But we have seen a lot of toing and froing. The Defense Secretary, Mark Esper, is there. The National Security Team is in there. And remember that the US president has made his position very clear, that if Iran did retaliate for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, then the US would act very fast and very hard. Remember, controversially mentioning those 52 sites, including ones that are Iranian cultural sites as well. He's backed off a little bit from that, but it would be very, very difficult to imagine we wouldn't see a response to a response. We also understand that US Air Force have been in the air over the skies of Iraq. We don't know if there's been any response yet, and of course that's what we wait for here, depending on, of course, the damage. But Iran very much saying, and they have said this for days, if there was going to be when there was going to be a response to Qasem Soleimani's assassination, it wouldn't be through proxies. Foreign Minister Zarif said Iran would do this out in the open, and it seems, well, it has done that in the last few hours.
Right, and Nathan, given what you have said, do you think there has been any indication, according to the information you have accumulated, of the US next step exactly?
Well, you know, we'll have to wait and see. And remember, US President Trump has threatened Iran before and then pulled back. In fact, we were very surprised when he chose to assassinate Qasem Soleimani, because that was not what he had done before. Remember, he did not respond to the downing of a US drone last year over Iranian airspace, although he was set to do it. So you never know from this White House, but given the public statements that we have seen, not just from him, but also US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Mark Esper, the Defense Secretary as well, it would be very, very hard to imagine that there wouldn't be some sort of response. The question is whether it's going to be a limited response, and whether Iran's response was a limited response, or whether there is an escalation ladder, if you like, that will take everyone to the brink, if not all-out war. So a very, very important time here at the White House, and a really important. And remember, US President Trump got partially elected saying that he would end the wars of the Middle East, and he is on the edge of another one here in Washington tonight. So, you know, there are other developments of the United Nations. The US has blocked any move to call what happened to Qasem Soleimani a war crime. There is also lots of negotiations going on with the US Congress, who have a lot of reservations, especially on the Democratic side, who feel that this was an avoidable escalation by taking out and assassinating Qasem Soleimani, of course, the top general, revered military leader, but also essentially a key figure in Iranian foreign policy.